Hey, what is going on, everybody? Happy Old Testament Thursday. I'm Pastor Adam. I'm so glad you decided to tune in and check out and see what we've got going on today. Man, I hope you're having a great day. We're going to continue on in our series about how to be a Christian in an unchristian world. What does that mean for you? What does it mean for me? What does it mean as people who are trying to spread the gospel in an effective way? Well, I'm going to ask you a question. May make you a little uncomfortable, but think of the worst person you can think of. And in society lately, we've come to the point where Christian morals and just the state of Christian livelihood can be persecuted at times, not very heavily in the terms of physical persecution, but in terms of, we don't want Christian morals, we don't want the society doesn't want prayer in school, prayer, we don't want prayer here, prayer there, we don't want God here, we don't want God there, and the society tries to squash anything that has to do with God, right? And so think of the people who are representing that. Think of the people in society who want nothing to do with God, who just want to tear down churches or tear down Christian establishments, want to get rid of Christian morals. Think of those people. What is your first reaction? What do those people make you feel like? Probably not super happy go lucky. They probably don't make you think of that. You probably sit there and go, maybe, ugh, they're too far gone. Or, ugh, I really don't like those people. Those are the people that we really need to go out and share the gospel with. Whether it's through our lives or whether it's through preaching the word, getting out there, sharing a testimony. Those are the people we think are too far gone, uh, that are no good. They're never going to accept Christianity. All they want to do is destroy it. Those are the people that surprisingly, more often than not, are more open to the gospel than you'd think. How do I know this? Where's my Pastor? Where's your biblical evidence here? Well, here's Jonah chapter 3, verse 1. Then the word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time. Go to the great city of Nineveh and proclaim it the message I give you. Verse 3. Jonah obeyed the word of the Lord and went to Nineveh. Now Nineveh was a very large city, and it took 3 days to go through it. Jonah began by going a day's journey into the city, proclaiming 40 more days, and Nineveh will be overthrown. The Ninevites believed God. A fast was proclaimed, and all of them, from the greatest to the least, put on the sackcloth. The sackcloth was a way of showing repentance. It was a way of submitting to God and turning from your old ways. That's what the sackcloth was. Everybody from Nineveh, the greatest to the least, gave up what they wanted to do. They gave up their idols. They gave up their sin. They repented and they chose to believe in God. Why is this so significant? Well, if you remember the beginning of Jonah, Jonah didn't want to go to the Ninevites because they were the worst of the worst. These Ninevites, when they won the battle, they would take the dead bodies of the people they would destroy and they'd hoist them up onto pikes to let people know that they mean business, to scare people away. They were barbarians. They were rough. They were tough. They were gross. They were brutal and they were harsh. Those are the type of people that Jonah was like, God, there ain't no way that these people are going to accept you. No way are they going to turn from their sin. Here in Jonah chapter 3, everyone from the greatest to the least fasted. They put on the sackcloth. They repented and they turned towards God. The people that you'd expect the least to go out and do. Jonah at chapter 4 has this conversation with God. He goes out to the city and he waits for God to destroy the city. He doesn't believe for a second that they're going to be spared, that they're going to turn from their ways and accept God. They did. Whether you believe it or not, God can change people's lives. God can turn the worst of the worst, the ugly of the ugly, back into right relationship with Him. That's the power of God's message. And so what I want to get at today, as Christians, we are, in the sense, Jonah sometimes. We are tasked with giving the Bible, giving the gospel message. And sometimes that means we go to the people who you thought of that were the worst of the worst, the people who are tearing down Christianity, the people who want no Christian morals, no prayer, no God, nothing like that. Those are the people that are sometimes the most open to the gospel. Believe it or not, it's crazy what God can do. So, what does this all have to do with being a Christian in an unchristian world is this. Let me challenge you with this. Don't ever be surprised when God shows up in a big way, or somebody you thought who would never, ever accept Christ, accepts Christ and follows him. Jonah didn't believe it. Sometimes we don't believe it. But yet God believes in everyone and gives everyone the opportunity for a new life. The question is, as a Christian in an unchristian world, are you going to share that message or not? Pastor Adam, this has been Old Testament Thursday. I'll see you next time.